From the outside, modern Russia often appears to move in ways that resemble the logic of conspiracy fiction. Secretive legal designations, dramatic accusations, opaque processes, and sudden symbolic punishments. Observers naturally ask whether the government realizes how its actions are perceived. But a deeper look suggests that this resemblance is not accidental. It is difficult to say whether Russia is run by a hidden order, but the state certainly benefits from appearing as if it operates according to unseen principles. The power of ambiguity becomes part of the political performance. An authoritarian system does not need secrecy to create mystique. It needs only opacity. When institutions stop offering clear explanations, motives become speculative. When rulings seem excessive, when laws are applied in irregular or theatrical ways, and when the targets include artists or cultural groups with little real political influence, the state begins to feel like an actor in a symbolic drama rather than a conventional government. And that symbolism matters. It signals that the state can and will act according to its own logic, independent of norms, expectations, or proportionality. Repetition is the key indicator that this effect is intentional. One isolated instance of an exaggerated reaction to dissent can be dismissed as bureaucratic overreach. But when these gestures recur, when they form a pattern across years, the impression they produce becomes part of the political environment. A state that repeatedly performs power in this symbolic manner is not merely enforcing laws, it is broadcasting a message. Our reach is vast, our rules are known only to us, and the boundaries of what we punish lie beyond your prediction. The theatricality is itself a tool of rule. This tactic is not unique to Russia, but in Russia it has a long lineage. From the late Soviet period onward, political power has often been expressed through rituals, spectacles, and elaborate displays. The goal is not simply to enforce compliance, but to cultivate a psychological reality in which the state feels omnipresent even when it does nothing. When a government is unpredictable in its targets and justified only by broad, flexible legal categories, the public begins to assume that hidden reasoning guides its decisions. That assumption is useful to the state. It enlarges its aura of authority without requiring additional force. Confusion is an exceptionally effective instrument of governance. When citizens cannot determine whether an action is random, ideological, or symbolic, they become, cautious. They moderate their speech. They reconsider their associations. They internalize the fear that the state knows more than they do. A government that seems to move according to hidden currents acquires an almost mythic stature, one that does not require conspiratorial coordination, only the steady application of ambiguity. The state may not consciously intend to imitate the imagery of conspiracy, yet it does intend to create an impression of deeper logic than meets the eye. The resemblance is therefore functional. When the government prosecutes obscure activists, bans music groups with global visibility, or designates non-governmental organizations as enemies of the state, the spectacle is disproportionate, but that disproportion is the point. It shows that the state operates on a plane where symbolism and power intertwine, where the public's inability to decipher motives becomes part of the mechanism of control. Thus, the question is not whether Russia wants to be seen as run by an Illuminati-like entity. Rather, it is that the political logic of contemporary Russia encourages an intangible, semi-mystical aura of authority. It rewards an atmosphere in which the public senses hidden reasoning even when none exists. And as long as this aura enhances the government's hold, not through secrecy, but through uncertainty, the resemblance to conspiracy will continue to be more than coincidental. It will remain an intentional byproduct of a political system that governs as much through perception as through policy.